computer.
Okay.
Okay.
Greetings, everyone. Good to see your smiling faces again. And telephone symbols. So it's great to have Karen and David here with us as a first of what might be the only or another transitional transition from 2018 to 2019 Weaver's Call, and particularly because we need to have conversation about
That's Leanne.
how many seats we have. 330, is that Leanne?
Yes, it is.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, Leanne. Well, hi, everyone. Hi there.
So Leanne, we've got a recording going because Jen said she may not be able to call in from the West Virginia site.
Okay.
But is hoping to be able to do so. But otherwise, gang's all here. And Leanne, did you say something?
I did not, but I'm going to put my phone on mute because I am in an establishment. So
Okay.
My son's getting married on Saturday, so we're in full swing of wedding prep.
Of course. Of course. Well, the main subject of conversation for us to move forward with a full complement is for us to include Karen and David in the conversation that we started with the 2018 Weavers a few weeks back, when Pamela indicated that she needed to, for a variety of personal reasons, to step back in 2019. And Pam, if you'd like to maybe take a minute or two, just so that Karen and David are more aware than they would be otherwise, just give them an idea of where you stand at this point, and then let's have conversation about, do we want 5 Weavers? Do we want 6 Weavers? If we want 6, how are we going to confront that situation, knowing that we might, unless we invite somebody that's been a Weaver before, would end up with 3 newbies, as we did this year. And I think that's the most important part of our conversation for today, and let everybody share their thoughts about it. So, and then we'll plan future calls, maybe another few weeks down the road or something like that, to get into more specifics. Pamela, would you like to let Karen go?
Well, yeah. There was a constellation of personal events, different things that contributed to me coming home from end of June quite depleted and exhausted to the point of adrenal fatigue, with consequences of not really being able to do much at all, just resting for a couple of weeks. And you know, this was just really purposeful because I realized that there were a lot of ways that I was over-scheduling myself, over-committing, over-volunteering, and it was a full stop where I had to really go into the place where we were all together at CCC and honoring where we are together, and also personally to bring our best self. And also not to work to the point of burnout, to put it just bluntly. So, and more than anything, I broke a code within myself that was to continue with commitments beyond a place where physically my body was allowing me to. And so I was collapsing a lot of old patterns of people pleaser and all of these things. So it was hard to do because I'm a person who commits and follows through. And I also love that the hallmark of CCC is keeping the conversation real and honest and fluid and in the moment, trusting that life knows what it's doing and that the universe doesn't make mistakes. And I got such clear guidance that I was not supposed to come back next year. And I'm not saying I'm never coming back. I'd love to come back if you'll have me. And I may even come back again, you know, to fulfill my commitment another year. But I just couldn't do it. subsequent, or 2 years in a row. So that's where I stand, and I love you all, and I'll say I'm feeling so much better. And I had the pinnacle of my quiet quarantine being my beloved dog die last Friday, and it was the most. I've never ridden the razor's edge of exquisite and excruciating more than in the past month. But his departure has been the greatest gift. All I can say is I won't say any more other than I feel different, and in a really good way, because he was in a lot of pain and he's free now. And my quarantine is over, but I really needed to rest. So I hand it over to you, beloved people, to take this to where it needs to be. And I trust that you are going to find the exactly perfect person to take my seat.
Thank you, Pamela.
I am
Thank
complete.
you. You really energetically is also showing itself in the physical, because you look so much more at peace than than last we spoke. Right, Darlis? Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you, if you'd seen me last week, the bags from crying under my eyes, but you know what? I've gone right through the center of it, and yeah, I do feel that. So thank you.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
So part of our conversation starting a few years ago was the assumption that as people signed on to be weavers, that it would be a 2-year stint, mostly just from a continuity standpoint, and that there would be an overlap, so there'd be some going out all the time, some coming in all the time, and we would have that continuity. And universe sends other directions, and life sends us other ways, and so this is just another one of those. We flow with what happens, for not just Pamela, with all of us. And excuse Noelle, she's got to grab the door here. We normally don't have people knocking on our door, but today we do. And so, so the question is, where do we go from here as far as weavers for this coming year? And that's why I really wanted to have Karen, you, and Dave involved in the discussion as we go forward, because the options are plenty. We can go back to only having 5 weavers. We can ask Darlis or Jen if they want to continue. We can ask somebody else that's been a weaver in the past. We can have conversation about someone anew. This year, was it true that this year was the first time we've had 3 new weavers at the same time in 18? I think that's true, maybe not. And so that's just it's just a data point. It really doesn't make, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Dave has been at every one of the convergences, and Karen's been to half of them or more. And so
Sheila.
And
Sheila's coming up on 5.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as people new to being weavers this year, Karen and Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just am hoping we can open the discussion, let everyone see what your thoughts are at this point about 5, 6, or whatever.
I just want to ask Pamela a question. I'd love to have you at the event next year, even if you're not a weaver. I'd love to have you there. So I'm wondering, is it possible that you could come and just not be a weaver? Or not?
David, thank you. Is that allowed? If you bow out, do you get to come anyway?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why wouldn't it be allowed?
Register like anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Thank you, David. I appreciate the invitation, and I have to say that Friday was a watershed day for me, and I haven't been making any decisions, and I haven't been looking ahead very much. I've just been in this really laser-focused place. So I will keep that as an option for sure. I don't know what next spring will bring, but I definitely would love to be there if it works out, and let's see what unfolds. So thank you for that question.
Fantastic. So who would like to light off the, first off, Sheila, I assume you can hear us. Can we hear you? Because your symbol is not a telephone symbol on the screen.
Yeah, we
for
can't
us.
hear you, Sheila.
We cannot hear you. So you're aware. But if you're there, I'm assuming that you can hear us. So,
May I make one suggestion?
yeah, quick,
Okay, from Shield to everybody, I'll go to phone. Okay.
thanks.
I'm wondering if you might want to have some discussion about what the theme is for next year, because that might have some bearing on who might be, you know, who you would want to bring on board. Just, you know, I don't know if that makes any difference or not. But of course, if we were doing Galactic again, we'd have to have David on board because he has the spacesuit.
Right.
So see how important it is?
There she is.
I don't have it anymore.
You don't have it anymore. You got $4,000 for it on
eBay,
eBay.
baby.
What? What did I miss?
We got you. We got you. Noelle was just saying that maybe we might want to have discussion about the theme for next year because it might affect who we would ask to be a weaver. And great idea. I don't know about others. I'm not prepared, having not read the feedback Survey Monkey of people's ideas of themes for next year. So I have not gotten that far. But others. I mean, and others.
I did remember that one time there was a brief period of time where I thought or was hoping it would be peace. I don't know. That was talked about a long time ago. And then during the peace.
Peace. Peace on Earth.
Peace.
Or peace in the galaxy.
Yeah. And then during the convergence or on the last day, I think a couple people threw out some ideas. But we probably should compile something, I guess.
Yeah, and we asked that question on the Survey Monkey too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darlis?
Yeah.
Yes. I do think we need some time to compile all that stuff and think about it between ourselves.
Okay.
Thanks, Leanne.
So one thing that came up to me for consideration as to whether or not to engage another weaver was, I think that adding the other weaver, and Noelle, you can correct me, came out of we had double the amount of people coming to the convergence last year than we had ever had before. So therefore, we needed more people on the team. Is that correct?
No, it was really, I thought that the reason for going from 5 to 6 was that we added the extra day. And an assumption that the spread of the workload would be helpful to have an additional set of hands on deck.
Okay.
Both through the planning phase as well as during the time. But because as it turned out, yeah, attendance went up in 17 with Galactic and came back to its plus or minus a couple.
Yeah, I was
norm.
surprised it wasn't higher for heartful co-creation, but it was really, like Bob said, because of the extra day, which people seem to really want. I think that was almost unanimous, that people wanted that extra day.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely stick with that.
And so one other factor I should mention real quick. I'm sorry, Darlis, if you go ahead.
It's okay. No, I gotcha.
Well, for Karen and Dave's benefit, just so you know, from a financial standpoint, we'll talk about a lot of other details later in future meetings. But we last year it was a bumper year for revenue over expenses, and that's because we had 56 people compared to 38 plus or minus a couple. This year, with the continuing plan, as it's been every year, of the workers' tuition and room and board being covered, plus the expenses, material expenses for the event. This year, we just broke even, and it only happened because Noelle and I were not in the dorms, and therefore the convergence revenue was not paying for Bob and Noelle's food and tuition because we were living on the ranch. And so there's like a $800 to $1,000 swing there that we broke even this year, but
That, and they also gave us credit for
yes,
ranch people attending,
yes,
which it clearly says in our contract they're not supposed to count them.
which bumped us over the 40.
The 40.
Okay.
That got us right to 40.
Yeah, and so they gave us that we had 40 paid, 40 attendees.
So they gave us two people free instead of one.
Yeah.
So they really gave us, that was $3,000 basically right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,000. And so, it's just a data point. I'm not concerned about it from a standpoint of, therefore, we shouldn't have a sixth weaver. If we need to have a sixth weaver or feel we want to have a sixth weaver for all the right reasons, then that's what we did.
It's also happened in the past where we had 4 weavers actually. Darlis, didn't we? And then in came Shelley, the Gaia year. But then the theme had already been determined, and then we've brought in a weaver. So it's also possible to continue as, the group of 5, and then bring in a weaver. The 5 can determine what it is, and then bring in a weaver as you see it's needed. I mean, we have done that before. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
So,
That does sound good. I would say, although for continuity's sake, I would love to ask Darlis if she is even interested or would consider staying, since she's on the call right now. We love you, and I understand how busy it's been for you, so just have to check. I can tell by your face the answer. Okay.
I don't want to get to where Pam got. I've just been like adding and adding and adding.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
little subtracting right now. So
Right. Gotcha.
But thank you for that, Sheila.
and you might also want to ask the same thing of Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's another possibility. So, you could just go on as Dave and Bob and Sheila, Leanne, and Karen. And then make your decision about what your theme is going to be. And then bring somebody on that you feel would be, I'm just throwing stuff out here.
And you know what? And at that point, for somebody that was already on the team to, assist towards, the middle or whatever, that's an easier, they're not starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
True. Karen, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I had the same thought about just asking Darlis and Jen, so we did that, and we can ask Jen. I realize that it's probably a lot of work, and I appreciate that the weavers are compensated, but if money is an issue, what if the weavers paid half? That was one thought I had when you shared that other point, that we just broke even. So I'm tossing that out there. And actually it feels good, like if, asking Jen, but if she does not want to continue, I like that suggestion of just starting with the 5 of us, picking a theme, getting David and I integrated, and then maybe as time moves on in a few months, deciding if another weaver, we would want to bring one on board.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And so you both know, there is money in the pot that's accumulated after. It didn't start until year 3 that it started accumulating, but there is, I don't even remember how much there is.
The first 2 years, what happened was that we did the deposit of $500, and then the weavers paid their own way, and we said, if we make any money, we will pay you back.
Oh, that's right.
And we were able to pay them back,
That's
and then
right.
we're able to make a contribution to Barbara Marx Hubbard's movie.
Right.
Wow.
Since then, we have accumulated money. We've got about, I'd say right now, about $7,000.
Oh, well,
And the reason, the thing is that Noel and Bob are still, we take, because we don't have a nonprofit organization, we have to take this as personal income, so we pay income tax on it. And then it's not making any interest, and
minus the expenses.
and we're in a low tax bracket, so I'm not making a big deal out of that. But when we do sign a contract, we are signing it personally, and there is a penalty. So if we hadn't sold, if we'd only sold 35 rooms, we would have to pay for those other rooms.
Mm.
So that's why we always need a kitty.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't disperse everything. So, and then last year, Weavers decided to make a contribution to Tree Sisters. And then this year, the contribution will be going to the Kogi tour. That's why I understand you all decided.
I think everybody weighed in on that
Mhm.
Yeah, the Kogi that are coming here,
to the U.S.
the original caretakers ceremonial tour. The Kogi Indians coming from Colombia.
You can keep moving.
So anyway, go ahead. That's a little background just for everyone.
Dave, what are your thoughts?
Well, actually, somebody's name came to mind, and I'm not sure how many. Certain versions, but it seems like it's is Dina.
Who?
Dina would
Dina,
make
yeah,
Weaver.
she would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that she's the director of TED Talks in somewhere,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Akron, maybe, or someplace. I'm not sure where.
in Youngstown.
Youngstown, she's a producer.
Yeah.
She has it coming up when we're going to be in Davenhurst, Darlis, Sheila, Karen.
Yep.
You know, we've got one vacancy for a female that wants to share a double.
We got to stay focused here, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a little advertisement there.
So thank you for
Vicky.
mentioning that, Dave, because yeah, her name's come up by a number of folks. Certainly Leanne and Jennifer both have promoted that idea, and
Then we would have two
Yeah.
veteran.
yeah, mhm. Yeah. So that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is awesome.
Mm.
Any other thoughts?
You know, I think having more rather than fewer weavers is the best alternative, because I feel like as a weaver that I want to also have a chance to actually participate in the.
Oh no, not allowed.
Just participate at a different level. That's all.
I don't know what the rules are, but I'd like to make my own rule here.
What are you saying, Darlis?
Weavers participate in everything, David. That's the rule.
That's the,
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Dave, because it's I think that's really important for each of us as an individual as to how we hold that, how we. I mean, it's really been quite an experience for me over the years, because I really felt the first couple of years, while I got to know everybody so well with the just being 30-some people, I really didn't feel like I was participating. And as the years have gone by, I've made my own decisions about how to change that for myself, and been supported by the other weavers by just having that, out in the open on the table, speak my truth with compassion, and do it, and then be supported. And so it's really been wonderful, and I really offer that to you and Karen as first-year weavers to know that's true. And there also was a fair amount of discussion, for the benefit of you two, fair amount of discussion by the weavers from this year after the event about my role, or on alternate years, Noelle's role,
Right.
in being the conduit to the ranch, and all the logistics and support that is that, which is a continuing thing all the way through the registration process, when some people have to be an individual case, has to be handheld through or whatever, and also the amount of logistics that there are for announcing weaver calls and following up with that. Registrations. Sheila jumped in big time this year as far as note-taking, organizing. Ted had in the recent years done a lot as far as getting on paper what the outline of the flow of the event was. And this year was the first time we actually did this sort of little interview process with everybody that said, I want to do a process or experience that's on a theme. And we all felt that was a really good thing. And but there was time to get everybody's schedule to line up with 6 weavers plus the people that want to offer it, and so recognizing that it just is kind of natural for that to be a very specific duties for Noelle or I, in different years.
So
So
it's always both of us.
and so yeah, and both of us are backup.
One's official, one's not.
So so I appreciate for that reason, Dave, what you said about the 6 is it was really smooth this year. It was really, really smooth this year.
Yeah, and I just want to pop in here to say as well to David and Karen, being new coming in, just to clarify, because I understand you're going to make your decision, Darlis, based on your own metrics of your own life, but I don't actually want to be perceived as, how shall I say this? I want to, as in, I don't want this to happen to me, as in the actual CCC experience as a weaver wasn't the reason for my burnout. I just want to be really clear about that, in that I felt the team was, and I want to say this, to everybody, but also for the benefit of David and Karen who are coming in. It's so beautifully orchestrated and balanced and aligned, and I did feel within the 6 of us, it was so beautifully held and all of that. And even the CCC, we did get to participate. Like the way that it was spread out, I did feel that it was just beautiful that way, and I didn't feel I wasn't lacking in energy the week of. I felt really good about it. It was the stuff that happened after with my family and leading up to what I knew was coming. So I just want to be really clear that I feel like I gave my all. It was a great experience. And it was just a decision afterwards, not to return, to continue. But in and of itself, it was a powerful, amazing experience. So I just really needed to say that. Don't worry about burning out. You're not going to burn out. That's what I just needed to say. Yeah.
So I think we've got a consensus about adding another weaver. So then it's just about timing. Because if she's doing TED Talks in September, now's not the time. Anyway.
Yeah.
And we talked about, or I heard a couple of people say, maybe we should wait and let them come in sort of a little more midstream. Once we kind of get the ball rolling. So does that seem to be the consensus now?
Sounds good to me. I don't know.
I'm okay with that, but I wouldn't use the word, for myself, I wouldn't use the word midstream. I would say maybe a month or 2 down, and let's get the theme on. Let's, anything else we need to do. But I think if we're going to have a third new participant on the Weavers, we've got, people that Dave and Karen who have attended multiple years, Dina only once. And so that's not with precedent. I mean, there's already precedent for that. But with Leanne and
Jennifer.
Yeah. But so I'm not concerned about that at all. But I think we should get them on board, within a month or 2.
Yeah, whoever it is, because there's no guarantee Dina would accept anyway. So whoever would come in early, but maybe not right now.
So did I also hear a conclusion that we would ask Jennifer if she wants to continue first?
Yes, definitely.
Karen?
Yes.
Leanne?
Yeah, I agree with that, to ask Jennifer first. And I just want to say, in regard to Dina, we certainly don't have to wait until after she's done with TED Talks. I think that, she knows that the work isn't going to begin until after. So, for her to be in the loop as soon as possible, it's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point. And if Jennifer, she's also taken up for the majority of the part of the month of September as well, for the reason that the other 3 of us on the call are.
Bunch of us will be, yeah.
All right, good. Well, I'm fine with this. Everybody else?
Yep.
Okay. So let's.
So to clarify, you're going to go ahead with the 5. And then they're going to maybe talk about a topic, and then bring another person in. Well, if it's Jennifer, then
I would propose that we talk to Jennifer. If she says yes, we go ahead and schedule a meeting sometime in the next couple of weeks, giving all of us enough time to look at the SurveyMonkey ideas about theme, and that we focus our attention at that meeting on theme. And if if Jennifer says no thanks, we go ahead and go to Dina and ask her if she's available for that call.
Mhm.
Maybe, you know,
Plan A, Plan B.
And then when you go to make your decision about the theme, are the weavers from both years going to be involved, or just the new weavers?
How's that been done in the past?
It was set for 3 years. The theme was a 3-year.
Right.
So there really wasn't, you had to set it. But it looks like Darla's,
Darlis, what are you saying?
she's done.
No, let the new people decide. No,
I didn't know if you wanted it to be a co-creation.
everything's a
Take that
co-creation.
opportunity from you.
Passing the baton. Yeah, I get it.
Everything's co-creation in the house.
Thank you, Darlis. Wonderful, wonderful. Good. Who wants to talk to Jen?
I can talk to
I
Jen.
can.
Yeah.
So I have to talk to her about other things.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm talking to her about Dom and her, so I can mention to her and just see, you know.
Yeah, and I think I agree. Leanne, you know Dina well enough, you know, just to put my view in on this being that last year I came on having attended one CCC and you all had already begun. I think you'd had 1 or 2 meetings in August.
We did.
Yep, and I think even the one in September, I had said yes, but was in Europe at that time, so I missed the first 3. So I really think that if you're wanting to bring a 6th person in, it's going to be so much more beneficial to have them come in, because I came in when it was just, the momentum was starting, but I think to have somebody come in a couple months later, there'd be so much catch up that,
Yep.
yeah.
I agree completely.
To quote the Scottish play, if it were done, 'twere well it were done quickly. Yeah.
What was that?
I was quoting the Scottish play.
So if we were to schedule a meeting for a couple of weeks hence, for those that will be on that,
And new.
with the new, including either Jennifer or Dina, if there's whichever says yes and whichever the schedule works out, is this a good time for day of the week and time?
I'm booked on the 22nd, but the 29th would work.
22nd. I got to think about this.
That'd be the 29th of August.
Yeah. David, how's your schedule? And Leanne, Karen,
Either one works for me.
22nd, 29?
Yeah, either one.
I'm open on the first one, and then the 29th, I have a meeting at a high school, but I don't know the time of the meeting yet. So my imagination is that it'll be in the morning before this time, so it should work.
Okay. Leanne, what are you thinking about Wednesday the 29th, same bat time,
On the call.
same bat station? Are you on mute?
Do we lose someone?
No, Leanne's just had unmuted.
Yeah, that will work for me.
Okay.
On the 29th.
All right. 29. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. I believe for Dominer or England on the 8th. Cool. Okay.
So pending what we hear back from Karen in terms of the time. Right? Yeah.
Correct. But we'll plan on this time 3 weeks hence on the 29th.
But the time might be modified.
Yeah, the time might need.
Right.
to
And
be
in the
modified.
meantime, are you going to give them the copies of your, has somebody compiled everything from the
No.
survey results?
No, we haven't.
Because if you're going to talk about,
Yeah.
about planning.
So we'll ask Jennifer if she wants to continue, and if she says yes, we'll ask her to do that, because she always did all the compiling. If she says no,
And that means we also need to include Karen and David in Trello and
Yes.
a
Yep.
couple things like that.
Yeah, might actually be a good idea. Maybe Karen and David and I could have a separate discussion sometime in the next 3 weeks, just to kind of brief you on. Trello is a group share software platform where we put all of our documents so that we could share them with each other. And so there are a lot of things we actually established this year that are archived there, that are like the template for organizing the flow and a lot of other things. And we put the copy of the contract there and all of that so everybody can see it all the time. So I could give you a quick tour of Trello Well, they've got tutorial tours, but just give you access to it. Yeah, that's a great idea. So
Sounds good.
yeah, we'll talk to Jennifer, and she says she's ready to step back. Then Leanne, maybe it would be appropriate with your relationship to have you represent us in the first call to Dina.
Absolutely. I'd be honored to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say something. I'm trying to think about when 2020. In 2020, then I would have Karen and David would only be the
Continuation.
would only be the continuation. Then I'd have 4 new people and only 2 that carried over.
That's true.
So for some reason that would lean me towards Dina. Because then I would have 3 and 3 versus
Oh, I got you.
Oh, right.
and
Yeah.
Returning.
and 4 newbies.
That's a good point.
That actually makes good sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So I would kind of prefer, I love them both. Don't get me wrong. Both of them would be a godsend. But I kind of feel like maybe bringing Dina on would make more sense from the flow of how it goes year to year.
I hadn't thought about that. Any other thoughts about that? Want to move Dina to first place?
Okay.
Well, it's kind of be the same this year with Gina, right? No, it'll be me, Leanne. Who's going forward this time?
You, Leanne. Yeah, that's right. You and Leanne.
You're new, Mom.
But there aren't 4 new. There'd be
And
only-
you, I guess. You'd be the third. Yeah.
Correct. So there isn't
Yeah.
4 new. There's only Dave, Karen, and Dina. There'd be 3 new, as there were this year and has been before.
And 2020 is going to be a big year. That's right.
What,
If we're still around, it's going to be big.
2020 vision, Noelle?
Huh?
2020 vision?
2020 vision.
There you go. Vision.
Right.
We already have the theme for 2020. Now we just need to figure out what goes with that.
2020 visionaries. 2020
Yeah.
visionaries.
Yeah.
Well, I have.
Hey, that might play into what theme you use for this year based on
Yeah.
2020.
Exactly. We could create another trilogy of some sort.
That's really nice. I'm telling you, when
Yeah.
you have the trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay, now Noelle, stop listening. So, so for the rest of pictures, because at the Arise Festival they had this amazing portal, outdoor structures like our Stargate, and I got pictures of how it is that they could stand up to a 40-mile-an-hour wind, which they do outside. And I got detailed pictures of how they're assembled and broken down so we could store them. And they have they're 2 sheets of wood, so there's actually internal lighting
Our
coming
portal
from
was
inside.
perfect.
It's they're really quite stunning, really quite stunning. So
Our-
we'll just
our
see
portal
about
was
that.
Perfect.
We'll just see about that. Dave's close enough to come up and work in the workshop with me for a couple of weeks. We got a place for him to stay. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I want to thank and honor all the Weavers. Past that aren't on the line, past that served last year, the ones that are present now, and the universe just handed us this thing, and it truly is a co-creation, and we truly couldn't do it. And I just feel so blessed by everything that's come out of what we've all co-created together. And I feel honored that we've kind of been the mom and pop steward, handed that. And but I just want to express my gratitude to everyone, and just really, it's a blessing. What we are doing is such sacred work together. And I try to explain it to people, and I said it's not a front of the room sort of thing. And it's kind of like, did you get tired of being in the front of the room? Wouldn't you like to be in the circle and really get energized? It's like it's really energizing for people, I think, to be able to feel like you can go there, let your hair down, be yourself, but still get really revved up with the energy and the love that we bring, that we give to each other. So I just really want to thank everyone from, it just means so much to us. And I just love what it's doing for the universe because we are affecting it in such a positive way. So thank you all.
Oh.
And I just want to say something. Bob and Noel, I could just speak for myself. I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for the two of you. So, you guys are the main reason, and I love you guys so much.
Thank
We
you.
love you, Bob and Noel.
Yes, we do.
We may have been the reason initially, but now it's everybody, I'm sure.
And one thing that came out of this year that was really poignant for me is about the receiving.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, that's how I can describe it better.
Oh,
It's a love fest, but it's about
is.
receiving from your peers on a level that you don't normally get anywhere that I've been to. And I've been around the world a little. So, I mean, I already have people lined up that really, really want to come this year. So,
yeah.
Thank you, Darlis. That's a great addition in how to articulate what this has become, what this is evolving. That's true. Very true.
And we also have some folks ready to come.
Oh, yeah.
good. Let's get that registration going, guys.
Hey.
Yeah, this summer at the ranch has been, and the others we've connected
Actually,
with
it's
here.
possible.
Yeah, the
And
Arise
then I
Festival
want
would be
to-
amazing. Yeah.
I want to put an invitation out there to weavers that maybe have the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world. If anyone is interested in looking at getting an Airbnb a couple weeks before, I'm seriously looking at that so that I might spend 1 month of my time in the Loveland area on the front and back end of CCC. So just putting that out there in case that resonates with anybody else.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Karen, I'd be absolutely interested in talking with you more about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to add too, I just want to circle around to what Noelle was saying earlier about how she would be going into 2020. That's something really big to consider. We want to make sure that, you have what you need, Noelle, with the experience of the Weavers. So now I'm leaning towards just going for Dina.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Dina, we had the pleasure of spending some time with her in Pittsburgh. And we are looking at co-creating. We're still working. Stay tuned. We're still working on putting together a writers retreat in Texas in January or February at the White Eagle Lodge.
Fun.
And Sheila, I think, will vouch for the peacefulness and sacredness and absolute beauty of White Eagle Lodge. Would you, Sheila?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's a spiritual candy store. Yes.
So.
And one thing that came up for me, Bob, that I just have to feel like I need to speak my truth with compassion with you in regards to already stepping up to teach David and Karen about the computer system. Okay, so and I can say this to you because I am that, which gets me in Dutch sometimes. So the Trello expert was our gal Jennifer. So you might want to just have a conversation with Jennifer and ask, would she have a moment? I know she's busy, but we all are, including you. Just really show them the ropes, because she really was the one that brought it, and I feel that she's like the expert. And I don't want to see you again just overcommit. And with
Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you,
Agree.
Darlis.
Thank you, you revolutionary agreement troublemaker.
Hey, the thing is, listen,
Yeah.
please take care of your body. You get one. How's your back? Is it better, Bob?
And my back is much better.
Oh,
I have actually been
So
using
glad.
weed whacker, and yep, we
Good.
went full
Well,
yesterday. Yep.
good to
Wow.
So it was
We
a,
would like to keep
Still
it
going
that
to therapy.
yep, still a full service.
hear. That way, you're right, Darlis. I hear you.
Thank you. Thank
For
you.
sure.
All right. Well, can we conclude on are others ready for us to invite Dina instead?
Sure.
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
All right.
And Leanne.
Leanne, go ahead and make the call.
Okay, I will do that, and I'll update you as soon as possible.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. And thank you for your suggestion, Darlis. When we're chatting with Jennifer, we'll talk to her. Well, obviously, she can watch this call if she likes, and we'll ask her if she could carve out some time to give Dave and Karen a little bit of understanding about Trello. Super. Thank you.
Yay.
Anything else?
I want to say to Leanne, congratulations on your son's marriage. I know it's coming up here in T-3 days or something like that.
Yes.
So I know you're really extremely busy, and I really appreciate your taking this time to be on this call. Really appreciate it. So
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I was getting a manicure during that call. I just walked outside. That one point that you said,
well,
that one point that you said, are you on mute? And I'm like, no, damn it, both of my hands are in the machine.
Yes, Darlis, we're all busy. For those that don't know it, not only is she mother of the groom, she's also the officiant of the service.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
all blessings for the most beautiful day, Leanne.
Have a wonderful
Oh,
It being just
thank
beautiful,
you.
perfect weather, and all love.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone. And I'll probably be calling Dina right away. So.
Wonderful.
Great. Yeah, let us know.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks.
All
Happy
right.
weddings.
Love you all.
Good to see you all.
Good to see everybody. Good.
Welcome, Karen and Dave.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's
Bye,
go down the road
everyone.
with this.
Much love.
Darla, see you
Bye-bye.
in Davenhurst.
Yes.